10 years, 2 Super Bowl ring, multiple-time Pro Bowler. Used to be a friend of Aaron Rodgers. Probably is, but wouldn't admit it. Okay, Greg Jennings. So listen, it's easy to blame the kicker. I didn't think Aaron was very good for the first hour and a half. I didn't think he had any energy. Can we blame Aaron a little bit for this?
We can, absolutely, of course. For me, if I look at it from percentages, I would put 60% of it on Mason Crosby because he can't do that.
Worst game of his career.
Yes, and he knows that. But 40% of it, I put it on Aaron Rodgers. I mean, you have the presser. You talk about the lack of offensive play calling and creativity and all of these things. So you create a spotlight, even more of a microscope on yourself, and you come out and you have the start that you had. Now, mind you, they've struggled in Ford Field the last few years, but Aaron, you can't do that. And it's not so much what his numbers ended up, because did he do enough for them to win? He did. That's not what I'm most concerned about. For me, what stood out was his body language, his demeanor, his lack of involvement with the guys during the game, meaning he had a look on him like he was disgusted, but it was kind of that, woe is, here we go again. Woe is me. There was one image that they shown during the broadcast of the game where he went to the sideline, he put his hands across his lap, he's sitting there. They show his receivers there on another bench, they're looking as lost as little puppy dogs as well. There's no fire. There's no, if we have to operate, if we have to execute these plays, if this is all we have, then guys, let's make it happen. Let's make it work. When I see Drew Brees, when I see Tom Brady
yelling,
they get fired up because it's no longer in the coach's hands. This is on us now. Like, and you set the tone. You being Aaron Rodgers, you set the tone, and that's what I did not like. Did he eventually play well? Yeah.
By the way, I heard this years ago by a coach. He said, Jay Cutler and Aaron Rodgers, there's some similarities here. That they kind of go off by themselves. They grab their thing. They do their thing. They're kind of in their own space. The difference is Aaron's an unbelievable talent, and Jay Cutler wasn't as good a player. But this is very rare for a player like you to talk about this. Quarterbacks are more than arm and feet. It's messaging. It's body language. Aaron can be kind of passive-aggressive. He can be, I would say, disengaged. He can't, and I know guys who have played with him, not you, that have said he can be moody. He gets into his own space. It was evident in the first half.
And when you look at, like, we talked about him when he made the comments early in the season. I think it was training camp about, or maybe early in the season when he talked about their practices and how they were underperforming. But coming into this game, I had an issue with him talking about the way practice went. And we'll get into Odell eventually, but Aaron Rodgers, he was asked about how was practice this week. It could have been better. Like, it wasn't great. You know, with the young receivers, kind of calling out the young. And this is all you have to go in the game with. You don't have Randall Cobb. You don't have your nucleus of guys that you typically go into a game with. So if I was going into a game with a backup quarterback, that would not be what I'm saying. I would be saying, oh, we have all the faith in Matt Flynn in the world. We'll be just fine. We're good.
He advertised their issues.
Yes. And so now all of a sudden we go into this game with this expectation of these young guys not pulling it through for him when it was him that came out flat. Yep. It was him that didn't set the tone with the start of the game the way that they wanted to. So I can't give him a pass for that.
Speaking of setting the tone, OBJ set the tone, came out before the game in an interview, was critical of Eli Manning. Not harsh, just honest, elephant in the room. For one of the few times I defended him, your takeaway. I did defend him.
You did defend him.
And I think most of you receivers are icing and crazy people.
Yeah. You don't have to go there. I'm proud of you for that.
You proud of me?
I'm proud of you for defending him. And he could have said a lot more.
Are you kidding me?
I listened to Trent, and, you know, we are taught to be politically correct and go into these situations with a certain way. But there comes a point in time in your career when you're just tired of being fake and phony. You're tired of just saying what everyone wants you to say.
Totally get it.
You're tired of it because it doesn't provide you with anything progressively.
You don't get any answers with it.
So it's you get asked the question, and it's up to you to then say, you know what, I'm going to be as honest as I can be without really stirring the pot.
We want all you athletes to be leaders.
Yes.
Leaders say uncomfortable things. He said an uncomfortable thing. That's what leadership is.
And all these headlines about do the Giants regret? But no, because before they paid him, everything was predicated on, well, he's going to have all these antics after his celebrations, sideline and penalties and this and that. He hasn't done anything but produce this year. Then the first thing that he says, it's really to motivate or to really address what everybody knows is there. Ben McAdoo benches Eli Manning.
Gets run out of
and
town.
He's done. Get rid of him.
By the way, in football, unlike basketball or baseball, no guaranteed contracts. There's about 3 guys in every locker room that can say that. And if you're one of them, you have a responsibility.
You have to do it because everybody in the locker room is looking at you like, Odell, man, you gonna say something? Like that is locker room code. Guys in the locker room know that, okay, if I'm not the one that coach will listen to, you are.
Who's the face of the franchise?
You have to be the one to say it.
By the way, Dallas, Jason Garrett, 2 minutes. Defend him.
Jason Garrett made the right decision.
Oh, jeez.
He made the right decision. He went with who he trusts in that moment. Their defense was playing excellent. They had stopped them in the red zone. And when you look at their offense, 20 rushes, 54 yards, averaging 2.7 yards a carry. The play before, they lose a half a yard. I'm listening to you and Vic talk, and Vic's like, oh, yeah, we got to go for it.
A couple of dudes, a couple of alphas.
I told Vic, man, no, man, absolutely not. Because he said, the offensive line feels like, oh, you don't believe it? No, I don't believe in you right now. And that should fire you up. That should tick you off to where the next time we're not in this situation because you did get us the 1 yard on third down.
So you would have sent the punter out.
Absolutely, because my defense, that's who I trust right now. If we're watching the Warriors and Klay Thompson has the hot hand with the game on the line, yeah, we have Durant, we have Steph, we have all these other guys, but Steve Kerr's going to try to find a way to get Klay the ball because he's had the hot hand. You don't go away from that. You go with what's gotten you there.
By the way, I got to be honest. Minute and a half left. I think what's happening to Philadelphia is funny. Hey, New England.
Oh, my. Here we go.
It's so good. It is so good right now. Hey, New England, let me tell you how to win games. In your face, dog mask guy Lane Johnson.
Let me tell you where I could stand up here. I could come over there and just kick you out of the
New England will tell you people how to win.
You wait till 5 weeks in and Lane Johnson gives up a strip sack on Carson Wentz, and all of a sudden it's Lane Johnson. Yeah, unfortunate timing. Did we talk about him week 1? No. We pick and choose the timing.
You're defending Lane Johnson I'm defending
the Philadelphia Eagles because the season is not over. They lost to a Minnesota Vikings team that gave up over 500 yards of offense the last Thursday. They got embarrassed when they went to Philly last year in the playoffs. Of course they're going to come out like this. And then you got a quarterback that is your guy who's played. This is his 3rd game back. He hasn't had an entire offseason or training camp to really develop the rapport that he has developed in the meeting rooms to put in action physically. That matters. He needs that time. I'm not concerned about the Philadelphia Eagles and this whole hangover stuff. I don't want to hear that because we went 15-1. I keep saying this. There's no such thing as a hangover. The Cleveland Browns, do they have a hangover of being the worst team in the league? No.
The Herd. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.